When they peeked they head out that Caucasus portal, out that portal in the Caucasus Mountain, they saw huge, not only us, they saw huge crystals. Structures so big, it would just baffle the mind today. I can't even put it in words. Because it's nothing on this planet that big. But we had huge pyramids, right? They saw all that. They were glowing. These pyramids were made out of crystals. Where you think all your crystals come from today? These are polished pieces. They don't look like this before they polish them. But guess what? Your crystal towers, why do you think they got the idea to polish them? Why do you think they have to even polish your crystal? Because in the raw form, the crystal is in its pure form of how it was when it was blew up during this great war, during the great invasion of 1492. And those raw forms are found in the ground. I got a whole huge chunk. What you talking about? These are raw pieces that come out the ground. What is you talking about? I got a whole huge chunk right here, man. What is you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so look. This is a raw. Look, this is a raw clear quartz piece. Okay? This is how they look in the ground. See how they come? They don't have no structure to them. Why? Because they were part of huge structures originally, and they were blew up. Just like if you blow up a brick house, and pieces to go everywhere. Let me give you the history of this shit, right? You don't remember how the planet was and how we had built these beautiful, huge pyramid structures and spears like this. Spears create a lot of energy. Spears create vortexes and pyramids, vortexes of energy. So that's all we was dealing with, high frequencies of energy. And after they destroyed everything, one of our ancient most powerful titans named Ocean was fucking them up. And it was like they destroyed our energy towers. Then they cut the trees down. Because when they destroyed our energy towers, that broke our communication. Because we had crystals that would be circled around our pineal glands, just like Vision off the Avengers. That's where they get it from. We used to walk around on this planet like an avatar. The whole planet would light up as we walk in it. And we had crystals, different types, that would circle the pineal gland. And it had chips in them. And they would connect us to these huge energy towers. And we had this unlimited database. This is why we would speak using telepathy. We didn't have words or none of that. It was all electricity. This is metaphysics. This is the true history of planet Kai. We had cities of electricity. The forest was singing beautiful frequencies. The trees used to sing. All your mountains are actually tree stumps. This was a beautiful forest, man. Huge, beautiful forest, luscious, man. Words can't describe the way this planet used to look before this invasion. We had no money system. They wrote all that in history to make you think money and killing each other is cool. Over it. Or working for it. We had no money because what the fuck we need money for when we manifest everything? And then we created the earth and we gave her the ability to nurture and fertilize. So far as any type of fruits you want, that grow out the earth naturally. Think about it. Everything that you're eating right now or that you're paying for, even your cloth, which you're not supposed to wear, but they make us wear cloth, which has cotton in it that comes from the planet. You're going to grocery stores to buy fruit that you can grow on your own. We pay for bottles of water. All right? So we had no need for money then because everything still to this day grows in abundance. It's just they got it. And then they make you pay for it and they dish it out a little bit. If you ain't got no money, we ain't giving you none. If you ain't got no money, look, this the whole planet. They cuffed it. The planet still pushes out abundance. They just got it. Diamonds are crystals that grow in the earth. Diamonds are crystals. Y'all didn't know that? That's the weakest crystal though. A diamond this is a clear quartz. A clear quartz is stronger. A diamond is part of the quartz family. Let me put y'all on game real quick. Free gems. A diamond is part of the quartz. This is a clear quartz right here. Diamond is part of the quartz family, and it's the weakest quartz, nigga. It's the weakest quartz, but they got us spending millions on diamonds. This is the weakest quartz. A low ass frequency comes off this. You're going to get a way higher frequency off this clear quartz, and you're going to be able to manifest way more for yourself than you can with a goddamn diamond, nigga. Just like copper is going to elevate you and magnify your intent or any electricity that you're building up more than gold will, nigga. All right? We're getting deeper here. We're getting closer to the Bermuda Triangle. We're getting closer to the Atlantic Ocean. Let's dive deeper. Let's dive deeper. Hey, the elites is watching this live right now, y'all. They sweating, y'all. They're like, God damn it, we done kicked this nigga off for a week. He came back overcharged. We kicked him off for a week. He done came back suited and booted. We kicked the nigga off for a week. He came back like Jordan in 95. Nigga, we kicked him off for a week. He came back with 3 chips in a row. You know what I'm saying? They tried to kick me off for a week, y'all. They thought I was going to come back with some light sauce. I'm like, oh, they want to fuck around? Oh, okay. They put me in the Nelson for telling y'all this type of shit. Now, it's important to understand that the power of crystals, right? Because it plays a part in why the fuck planes are disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle. So remember I was talking about this war, 1492, and they destroyed everything on the planet. Now, one of our most powerful titans' name was Ocean. He comes from the liquid families, or he's part of the liquid spirits, okay? So you got beings that when they animate, everybody don't take on the physical for a solid form. Some beings, spirits and souls, animate liquid form. Some beings, spirits and souls just animate purely the gas form, okay? This is metaphysics. This is true. This is how they are able to keep the elemental beings from you. Like embers, like for example, embers actually have spirit and soul. Yes, the embers on the flame, and you never noticed that. But if you was to start a fire start a fire, or just strike a match and pay attention to the embers, how they move and dance, because the ember is completely separate. The flame is one part, the ember is a whole different thing, right? An ember is part of the elemental beings family. Even the water. The water has these water spirits that dance on top of the water once the sun flicker off. It look like the lights reflecting. Y'all done seen that when y'all at the ocean. When y'all done seen like you at the beach and you see like all that light glaring off the water. Boy, them are the water spirits, nigga. That ain't no light glowing. You're seeing their luminous body radiating, but you have been lied to about the elemental beings. So you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But all of these beings exist, right? All of these beings are part of this frequency of this planet that we created. All right? So when they was destroying everything, Ocean was one of the last titans left that was like, because we gods. Ocean is a titan. Although we are gods, and some of us are considered titans because you have the titans, you got the gods, all right? But then you got titans. Titans merge with gods. So then you got some spirits that some souls are half and half titan, half god. Like we merge together because we pretty much the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much the same thing. The titans was just like a force, whereas the gods, we are like the actual embodiment of the force. If that loses you, it's okay because it's like that when we go deep. All right, so now we had a giant, one of our most powerful pyramids that we had was made out of labradorite and lapis lazuli. Okay? So, let me show y'all something. Now we had this huge giant pyramid. It was an actual pyramid, but it was more like a Merkaba. So a Merkaba is when you got a triangle, one point up, one point down. It makes what you all know as you call it the Star of Israel. All right? And if you from the streets, gang members call it like a 6-point star or something like that. But we had this huge pyramid, and it was made out of 2 of the most powerful crystals out there that you can come across. Lapis lazuli, this is lapis lazuli, and labradorite. Okay? Lapis lazuli and labradorite. two of the most powerful crystals you can come across, especially if you know how to tap into the energy of them. Now, this huge pyramid was used to keep ocean tied down, locked to the earth. So we always had riverbeds and we always had different bodies of water, yes, but we didn't have no ocean. The actual ocean we see, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, all these big oceans, we had seas. We didn't have oceans, right? That's the body of one of our titans named Ocean, who was like an ancestor too, all right? So when we was in this big war, they used that giant pyramid to lock, like they drove Ocean body in the middle of the war. They drove Ocean's body through the pyramid. So imagine a huge pyramid and a body of water being driven through it. Now that body of water was being driven through it, and the tip of the pyramid was used to hold the body of water in place. So that body of water that's being held in place is ocean. And the oceans of today is being held in place by this giant pyramid. And this giant pyramid is located in the Bermuda Triangle. It's under the water, right? Now, why is that important? Because this whole planet that you think, so when you think of the planet, you were taught in school that the planet is North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Russia, Asia, Australia, Antarctica. But in reality, this is one whole plane surrounded by 3 walls of ice. You can pull up the ice map. See. So basically, the way the way the planet's set up, it don't look like a globe. It's not a globe like this. Okay, so on the outside it is, you have your planet as a globe. It's a vortex of energy fields, but it is consisted of 9 different planes. All right, that's exactly how the planet looks, nigga. As far as the designs, how each plane sits above the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but it's 9. So just look at this drawing right here to give you some idea of, you see how the planes stack one above each other? You see them? The little 4 to the left. Look to your right, that big ball. You see how they stack one above another? That's how the planet look. That's how all planets look. And now you see that little bright dot at the top? That's what you call the entrance to the dimension. All right. And this is what you see when you look in the sky at night and you be seeing like stars, what you think is stars. You be seeing that bright light that sit above every planet, every universe, because they are consisted of planes. So you be seeing that little bright light, which is the entrance to the realm. That's where the stars come from. So that's why I keep telling y'all, those are not stars. Those are actually portals that lead to other universes and planets and galaxies. And our planet look the same way in the sky. If you on another planet, our planet look like a little star in the sky too. Though, but what you think is a star, because we never had stars. They created that word after they enslaved you, because they couldn't erase it out the sky. You was gonna look up and keep seeing the motherfucking bright lights, which will remind you of where you came from. So they had to create new names for that shit to erase it out your conscious. So they couldn't hide it, so they just called them stars and made up a whole bunch of shit about it. Ain't no such thing as no star. And your earth ain't round. It's not no globe. The earth looks like that. And it's only 2 entrances in. You gotta go through the portals to get in here. Why you think I told you that human beings, when they came to our planet, they landed on our planet. They entered our planet through portals in the Caucasus Mountains. I always taught y'all that. Key word, enter our planet through portals. You know what I'm saying? That little bright light at the top, all them planes, is the entrance to the portal of our planet. How our planet portal look. Come on, man. This is metaphysics, man. Your ancestors travel in ships all the time. They couldn't hide that from you. So what they did, they told you there's a such thing as meteors, comets. So if you do see shooting stars, so if you do happen to see they ass in the sky, oh, that's a shooting star. Oh, that was a meteor. That was a comet. Don't none of that shit exist. Nigga, that was us. Nigga, that wasn't no motherfucking meteor, nigga, that you saw fly through the sky, nigga. Wasn't no comet, nigga. Ain't no such thing as no stars. Every little dot in that sky, them is planets, universes, and galaxies. The sky is filled with them, too. If they was to let you see an actual clear night, boy, so many stars and planets in the sky that you can see clearly. That's why they keep filling the sky with chemtrails every day. Go outside. Every day you look up, you're going to see planes flying in your sky. I don't care where you stay. Spraying. Facts. That's what they be spraying. Holographic imagery to block these things because you would see that shit clearly. You are, with them spraying all that shit, you still be seeing stars. So imagine how many you would see if they didn't. That should have like something off a fucking science fiction movie. You would not just see stars, you would see huge ass planets that look so close that you could damn near touch them. Like for real. Why you think they show you the sky like that in movies? Go look at Avatar, go look at certain movies. What was that movie with Van Diesel? Riddick or some shit. I think that was Riddick. Go look at that sky in Riddick with Van Diesel. Where you think they get all them ideas from? That's how your sky look right here. This was the last planet that we made. This is the only, let me tell y'all something about this planet. This is the only planet where you can look in the sky and see the whole cosmos. Because we made it that way. Planet Kai. This is the planet of the Anunnaki. Planet Kai. This is our baby. This was our very last planet that we built out of all the planets. It's the very last one. And these planes, each plane, so to say, has its own rules, its own regulations, its own map. Now, on this plane specifically where we are, they have always showed it to you as looking like a globe. And then they tell you, hey, it's just these 7 continents or whatever on them. But in reality, we are surrounded by a vortex, a sphere of energy. That's true. A globe of energy. That's true. So you can look at it like this, but we inside of that. So you got to be asking yourself, how does your planet look? How does the plane look? You're inside of the plane. So the actual plane is like a pancake. It's forever. And you have been circled inside one little circle of the plane. You have been set inside. We sit inside one little circle of the plane. All right. And this is where your little 7 continents is located, inside this little circle. And we are literally surrounded by a wall of ice. All right. This is the great ice wall of Antarctica that everybody talks about. All right. Even the military did a fake stage operation trying to act like they don't know what's going on, called Operation High Jump. Because see, that's what the government do. Like the government work for the elite. So they can't make, the government is owned and ran by the elites. Remember, America and the government over here in our country, in America, it's a corporation. Every government in every country is a corporation. And they all check in with the global elite. All right. So they had to stage it and make it seem like they didn't know what the fuck was going on. And they called it Operation High Jump, and they called themselves going to Antarctica. The military did and acting like they was trying to get over the ice wall. Like, they know what the hell is going on. They know why it's an ice wall. They put the motherfucking ice wall there. The whole ice wall is nothing but the dead bodies of our ancestors. All the people that were killed in the original battle of 1492 are laying right there in that ice. That ice is composed of nothing but carbon. Go look it up. They tell you the ice sheets of Antarctica is melting. They are full of carbon. Once all that carbon is released while they melting, what happens? More water, right? That's what they was talking about, like the big fear of Antarctica. They trying to make it sound like they don't know why the ice walls is melting. All right? So, anywho, this is your plane. This is how Atlantis looks, okay? So, now, your realm, the realm you are in right now on this planet is called Atlantis. Okay, this is Atlantis, y'all. This is not the world. This is not Africa. This is not Europe. This is not Earth. Earth is on Nern. Nern is another word for Earth. All right? This is planet Kai, and you live on a realm within it. Surrounded, you live on a you live in a realm with 4 realms above you, 4 realms under you, and you are, and all 9 of your realms are surrounded by one big vortex, one big sphere of energy. That's what the fuck a planet is. Okay? So, why is that imperative to know? Why is it important to know? Because when they were destroying us in this war, they was fighting us in this war, one of the most strongest warriors was the Titan Ocean. They had to literally drive his body through something to keep it down, to keep him from rising again during that war, during this battle. All right? And he has a liquid base. He comes from a liquid base. So liquid is hard to hold down. Right? So what did they do? They used the Moors, who they had already put under a spell, because the Moors are the ones that gave them the access codes to the ancient technology we had called Macurbas that they used to push our sun away, to blow up our crystal towers, to cut down our trees. All right? They used our own technology against us to do that. All right? The Moors didn't try to do that, but the Moors were put under a spell. That's why the Moors were the ones that helped them build up Europe, because after the Great Invasion, they started to build up their own version of what they wanted on this planet, and it started with Europe, and they were using our very own to do that. The Moors are the ones that wrote the Declaration of Independence. The Moors are the ones that wrote the Constitution for them. The Moors are the ones that built all the cathedrals in Europe for them. All this took place while they were put heavily under a spell. They broke that spell, though. And after they broke that spell, then that's when Europe went to war with the Moors. Look it up. Look it up.